Over the past 2 weeks, we have seen two Pokemon cards go from rags to riches in ways we don't normally see. The Drowzee and Baxicaliber illustration rare cards are going to the moon right now, but believe it or not, these cards actually have a little bit in common as they are illustrated by the same artist. That's not normally something you would think about when you're looking into investing or even just buying cards to collect, but it's something that you gotta take into account with the way things are right now. What's really crazy about these cards is that they were under $20 raw for 2 years, but their PSA price has always been top tier. So today I'm going to be revealing my top 10 best cards from the Scarlet and Violet era under $20 that could be next to blow up. These 10 cards are the ones that I think could replicate exactly what the other two cards did, or they are great buy and sells right now. In a market like this, we got to find the gems before everybody else does, so that's what we're going to be trying to do today. Let's jump to number 10. At number 10, we have the Garbodor IR from Paradox Rift. This bad boy is coming in at $13.09. A month ago, this thing was coming in at $7.40. In a PSA 10, this thing is coming in at $169 with a population count of 163. I think it's safe to say that this is one of the most disliked Pokemon there is. However, that PSA price does pack a punch. With the added craziness of the market and everyone trying to find the next bone, I think this is for sure a candidate with its low pop count and high PSA price to possibly blow up. With that being said, there is a reason that it is number 10 because the chances are lower than others on this list, and since, like I said in the beginning, it's not a very liked Pokemon, it's very unlikely, but it's definitely possible. At number 9, we have the Tarountula IR from Scarlet and Violet base, and this thing is coming in at $7.76. A month ago, this bad boy was landing at $4.78. In a PSA 10, this thing is coming in at a whopping $400 with a population count of 8. Obviously, this one's crazy. I know it looks great. A $7 card into $400 is absolutely insane, but there's only 8 in population, so I'd say the demand just pretty much isn't there, which is why it's number 9 and not number 1. However, we have seen this before. People pretty much once they start to dive deeper and start trying to find that bone and they see these numbers, these cards will be pushed to some degree, and that's why it has made this list. It's actually a great one to have locked and loaded ready to go just in case it does jump ship, but honestly at $7 and like I said, to get it graded, it's really not that bad of a pickup. Even if it doesn't do anything, you're not out a lot of money because of the low entry price. At number 8, we have the Tauros IR from Paldea Evolved, and this bad boy is coming in at $10.76. A month ago, it was sitting at $9.99, so it's moved a little bit. A PSA 10, this thing is coming in at $200 with a population count of 125. There are a bunch of great illustrator rares in Paldea Evolved, but this one stood out to me more than some of the others. Even though it's a Paldean iteration, it is still representing the OG 151, and people will still, they'll try to find any reason for a card to go up and they can make money on. Factor that in with this low entry price right now and a very solid PSA price, this one is a hidden gem for sure. At number 7, we have the Gloom IR from Obsidian Flames. The Gloom is coming in at $14.83. A month ago, this bad boy was coming in at $11.96. In a PSA 10, this thing is coming in at $181 with a population of 615. This is another one that's going to be getting the 151 bounce for me, but it's not just that. The original 2 sets from the Scarlet and Violet era has seen insane price growth in the past 3 months, and I believe Obsidian Flames is the next set to get the same treatment. We haven't really seen a card from Obsidian Flames trending like we have in Scarlet and Violet base and Paldea, so I believe it's only a matter of time before that set has its turn, and it's a great candidate to explode. At number 6, we have the Heracross IR from Paldea Evolved. The Heracross is coming in at $19.97, so it's almost at the $20 mark, but a month ago this thing was coming in at $16.87. A PSA 10 for this thing is $190 with a population count of 188. This one is as close to $20 as you can get, and I'm sure in other markets it's probably over 20 bucks, but I think that this one is primed for a big move. Even though we have already seen some early Scarlet and Violet sets, including Paldea Evolve, move, Heracross is pretty pretty large fan favorite, and with people likely squeezing every ounce of value out of Paldea Evolved they can get, this one is a great pickup right now as well. At number 5, we had the Sudowoodo IR from Paldea Evolved. Our little tree friend is coming in at $16.38. A month ago, this bad boy was sitting at $12.26. In a PSA 10, this thing is coming in at $250 with a population count of 208. As much as I love the Heracross, I fully believe the Sudowoodo is the next big mover from Paldea Evolved. Unless we have another Baxicaliber lurking within the set, I think this is the one. Even if it doesn't climb another cent, the PSA price is phenomenal and the entry price is still relatively low. Another fan favorite with a $250 PSA 10 price. Once the scalpers see this, it will make them drool. At number 4, we had the Armorouge IR from Scarlet Violet base. This Knight in Shining Armor is coming in at $18.24. A month ago, this thing was sitting at $11.06, so it was pretty low. In a PSA 10, this thing is coming in at $300 with 92 in the population category. This is another one that's right on the cusp of being a $20 card, but even with it being on the higher end of our price range, I think the PSA price is amazing. This one to me is by far the best remaining option from the Scarlet and Violet base set, just from the standpoint that its PSA price is already ridiculous compared to its entry point, and as we've seen, there's a lot more than the Tarountula. The Pokemon is actually starting to become a fan favorite, and the artwork is fantastic. I think this one is, once discovered by the deep state, I think will run like crazy. At number 3, we have the Brute Bonnet from Paradox Rift. Our favorite little mushroom is coming in at $17.38. A month ago, this thing was sitting at $6.70. In a PSA 10, this thing is coming in at $170 with a population count of 204. So this is the one that people may roll their eyes on for it being this high on the list, but let me put you on some game. This card is illustrated by the same artist that brought us the Drowzee and the Baxicaliber. It looks like people are starting to catch on to this trend that people really like this artist, and I don't think that it's too late to snag this thing, but I will say the longer you wait, the quicker this thing is just going to keep rising. I wouldn't be shocked if this thing is just as much as the Baxicaliber in the next few days. At number 2, we have the Umbreon Pokeball from Prismatic Evolutions, and our favorite Moon Kitty is coming in at $14.34. A month ago, pretty much when the set released, it was coming in at $22.24, so it's actually down. Take this number as you will, but the PSA 10 price right now is coming in at $445. As crazy as this is going to sound, this is probably the most hit or miss card on the entire list we've looked at today. I know it sounds weird saying that, but hear me out. I think most of us have rode this train before and we know how this goes, but with Umbreon, the ride just seems a little different. Remember, we had the Umbreon VMAX Trainer Gallery from Brilliant Stars. It stayed pretty dormant for months and then popped up out of nowhere. This one could fall to $8 easy, or I could see this thing running to $30. Either one, I wouldn't surprise me. The PSA 10 aspect also helps put this at number 2. Obviously, the number that we've seen is probably a little bit of a fugaze, but this thing at $200 and a PSA 10 would not shock me at all. The next thing too, it's an Umbreon. Out of probably every Pokemon that's on this list, this one is probably gonna age the best just because of it's Umbreon. So I think that this one, you know, like all of them, you could say, you could have an argument that everything else on this list is a result of this, you know, fugaze market that we're in. The Umbreon is Umbreon, man. It just always works, and it's the first time we've had a Pokeball in English. It's Umbreon. It's honestly, it's a really good artwork too. So this thing is a surefire number 2 for me, for sure. And at number 1, we have the Scizor IR from Obsidian Flames. So everybody's favorite grasshopper is coming in at $17.74. A month ago, this thing was sitting at $10.86. In a PSA 10, this thing is coming in at $210 with a population count of 444. Remember when I said that I fully believe Obsidian Flames is due for a really big star in the illustration rare department? I meant it. I know this one has the Cleffa and the Ninetales, which are great candidates, but I mean, they're already past $20, and honestly, they really haven't been moving like you would think a card in that price category would. I really think that this card can run up to some pretty incredible numbers if the Illuminati finds this one lurking in the weeds. The artwork is A+. The illustrator is well liked, and this set is the third release set of the Scarlet and Violet era, which is making it, it's getting a little bit of age on it now, and it's always been a fan favorite. The Scizor has, from what I can always tell. I always felt like this one should have came first and then Scyther, but I don't know, that's a whole nother discussion. The PSA price is great. The pop is low for the demand that could possibly be out there, because again, I think that Scizor is a pretty popular Pokemon, and this artwork really plays into it. It's really nice. If the demand just keeps going up on this card, which it really seems like it's gonna start, because I keep seeing this card pop up in a lot of other videos. I keep seeing it pop up in a lot of, like news feeds, I guess, on social media. A lot of the DGens are talking about it. I think this one is gonna do very well. Thank you so much for watching, guys. This was a really interesting video, and I hope it helps you collecting and investing moving forward. Make sure to check out PokeNotify. All the links will be down in the description below. Use Factory 25 at checkout to get 25% off of your first month, and you get a 3 free day trial. And if you're just a good old DGen, make sure you check out my personal Discord where we hang out. I drop all of my products to Discord first for Poke Factory Shop. So if you want to get first dibs on Prismatic, Crown Zenith, and stuff like that, make sure you join the Discord, or if you just want to have a good time with the DGen. Again, guys, we're trying to hit 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so we're pushing forward. We need to hit 12K before the end of February, so if you haven't already, make sure you hit the sub button, hit the like button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Poke Factory out. Peace!